Hey there, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Colin from Glass Half Broken. Now, if you've watched any of the stuff from the channel before, you know that I do collect old video games and things like that. A lot of old vinyl records, old shit, you know, things like that. If you haven't seen any of the channel before, I collect old video games and old vinyl and things like that. You know, mainly my father is the one that has all the vinyl, but I do have some as well. And, yeah, I don't have a whole lot. Like, there's a lot of people where you see, like, shelves upon shelves of, like, old video games and things like that. And I don't quite have that, but I do collect stuff that piques my interest. And some of the stuff that I like to collect is actually something that not a lot of people will, you know, the thing that people will look over, and that's old strategy guides for video games. Now, I have a few right here, and because there's a couple of reasons why I like to you know, collect old strategy guides. And number one, like, I don't pay a whole lot. I'll usually go to like a used bookstore, and if it's like a couple bucks, I'll pick it up. And some of them will be for nostalgia. Like, I just picked up the old strategy guide for Parasite Eve. Now, I had this back when it was new, but then I like traded it into like a used bookstore somewhere. And so, like, yeah, I remember this. I remember not only the game, but also the strategy guide as well. And I would like look through it, and these would be useful because of, you know, the fact that, you know, back then the internet, like, they would have, I mean, yeah, sure, the internet existed, and there was, like, you know, strategy, you know, online strategy guides, but these were still useful to have just on there, because, you know, back in, like, 1998, you know, it's just, you had to, like, get online, and, you know, it was, usually you had, like, dial-up or some shitty thing, so it was a lot faster just to flip through the strategy guide, and things like that, so that was like, hey, you know, yeah, kind of, you know, cool nostalgic thing, you know, why not? The other reason is an oddity, like a weird, like a thing, or just like a strategy guide for a game that, let's say, is supposed to be one of the worst games ever made. I thought it was like $2, something like that. So Superman for the N64, considered one of the worst games ever made. And I saw the strategy guide for like $2, so at like Half Price Books or some other, I forget which bookstore, and I thought to myself, why not? Why not have the strategy guide to one of the worst games ever made? And let me tell you, this strategy guide, they don't do a whole hell of a lot in trying to give you a lot. Like, you can even just tell the font choice is even just, like, a bit weird. Like, it's very generic, and it's just, there's just, like, a bunch of, like, kind of not great art that kind of looks like, I mean, like, it kind of looks like from the animated show, but, like, not, I mean, you look like Lex Luthor over here just kind of looks like Lurch from the Addams Family, but without the Frankenstein monster head. So it's like a weird fan art Lurch. So, like, yeah, so I don't know if this is supposed to be like official art from the show, or like what this is. If this got like a fan artist that could just give a rough facsimile. But yeah, they did not put a whole hell of a lot of effort into this, but I'll say, you know, you would have to put quite a bit of effort into writing this thing, because you know, from anyone if you've seen anybody play this game, it is very difficult. It's one of those games that's like, not only is it really bad, it's also really hard. So not a lot of people want to actually play through it to see it to the end. So kudos to Craig Wiesel, whatever. I ain't shitting on you, but I'm just saying, you know, I don't blame you for not, you know, giving 110% for Superman for the N64. Yeah, but, yeah, I have a bunch of other strategy guides, too. Once again, like, I don't have, like, a huge stack of them or anything like that, but just like, hey, this is a weird thing. It's a strategy guide for, like, a shitty game that I once knew. Or, once again, like, nostalgia. Like, hey, I remember this game. I'll flip through the strategy guide because, I don't know. That's the thing, like, a lot of people will collect stuff, and I think collectors don't really question their collections, and I think that's why I'm not as big of a collector as a lot of people, because I will question myself, or I'll pick up, when, you know, I bought the Parasite Eve strategy guide, and I was just like, yeah, I remember Parasite Eve, that was a great game, and then I thought to myself, did I need to buy the strategy guide? Well, I have it again, so there you go. Alright, I'm gonna get going now, and you guys have yourself a great day, and subscribe, like, notification bell, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys later.